Well, hello folks, and welcome to a Saturday morning here in Nova Scotia. Yes, it's a weekend, so you know what that means. It's time to haul some fill. So the question is, what truck is going to perform better? So my first truck was my Sterling, 2005. I think it's the L9000 they call it. It's got the Cat C11 engine and the 8LL transmission. So this thing has high mileage, and when you look it up online, there's all kinds of different specs on this truck. So it's hard to tell exactly how much horsepower it has. It ranges from 325 to like 425 horsepower, or 415. So it's hard to know exactly how much horsepower this truck had when it was new, but we're gonna estimate it right around 350. This is the Cummins ISM 410 horsepower 2010 International 7600 with the 6-speed Allison automatic transmission. So I'm gonna be hauling some fill today. We got the 95 over there set up. I'm hauling it down to White Point. So we got about a 30-minute round trip, maybe a little better each way. Obviously one way will be loaded, one way will be empty. We'll see how the trucks perform on some hills and you know, just all that sort of stuff. I really like driving the Sterling, to be honest. The automatic is nice in its own way, but I like shifting. I did have knee surgery not that long ago, pretty invasive knee surgery. I tore my patella tendon. So that's my clutch leg right there. So I'm a little bit stiff still. I'm a little off on my shifting. It still pains, but I do enjoy it. So the question is, which one are we gonna take first? I'm gonna take the Sterling first. Get backed up over to the pile. We'll get roughly a 14 to 15 ton load on each truck, and we'll head down. So I'm not going to fill up each truck and see which one burns more fuel, but my guess is that the C11 is easier on fuel than what this Cummins is. The Cummins just shut off. It's got a 10-minute automatic shut off on it. Anyway, let's see how this goes. All right, so here we are. We are loaded up, ready to go. Nice big heavy load on there. So let's see how the Sterling does. So hopefully you guys can hear me all right. This truck doesn't have air conditioning, so I'm probably gonna leave the window down for most of this. I know we got a good load on because we're over 90 pounds on the bags, and when I get a 14-15 ton load from the quarry, we're like around 75 or so, 70-75. So I know for sure we've got a good full load on this. So typically when I come out of here, in second, because I am on a bit of a downhill, and we're jumping right on the highway once we leave. The truck's not really warmed up yet. Well, it's up to like 150 degrees. So now we're up in the high gears. I can tell you right now that the acceleration is faster in the automatic Cummins. And that's pretty much the way it's going to be across the board with any automatic, really. There's some guys that will tell you they can shift faster than an automatic, but I don't really believe that. So the speedometer on this truck is off by like 10 kilometers. It shows, right now it's showing we're doing 100, but we're actually only doing like 90. I definitely got to get the steering wheel fixed. But anyway, we're on our way down. We're on flat ground here for a little bit, but once we got a hill coming, I'll bring you guys back. We got a couple good hills on the way down, and we're going to be climbing full. So we'll see. I know what's going to happen. We'll see what happens. So, got our first decent little hill coming up here. I'm in 8th right now, doing like 90 kilometers an hour. So, don't really have a run on to this hill. The last hill I climbed it in 8th, no problem. I'm thinking this one we'll have to drop down to 7th. Down to like 1300 RPM. It will climb it. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to leave it 8 just for the reason of the video. But typically I'll drop this to 7. You don't want to lug the truck. So it did 8. Alright, next one. Let's see how it does here. Wow. Pretty crappy bumps. And it's doing pretty good. I'm going to drop it to 7th though. That wasn't fair for the truck. I messed up that shift, that's for sure. Hopefully the next hill I don't mess up the shift so bad. Okay, let's see how we do on this one. Now that I got the camera on, I'm under pressure. A little better. So 7th gear, 1500 RPM. We're doing about 72, 73 kilometers an hour. We're not below 70 yet, so I don't need my 4-ways. And we're getting off at the exit right up here. Picking up speed now. I'm not going to bother really accelerating at this point. I'm getting off right here anyway. I'm going to keep it in 7th. Hasn't had to come on yet. I got my engine brake on high. a dump truck. Like a lot of times, you're not doing like a lot of highway driving. A lot of times you're doing short trips. I don't really, for a dump truck, I don't really see a need for having an 18-speed transmission. Well, there is the first load for the Sterling. So I'm gonna head back now and grab the International. That was a pleasant drive. We'll see how the International does. It's a big load. Well, that was such an enjoyable drive. I don't even really want to switch trucks, to be honest. But for the purpose of this video, let's get this girl fired up. All right, now here we go. Oh, I guess I should show you the load. We don't want any arguments here. Here's the load. Now, let's see how she does. My engine brake on here. It's one thing I will say is the engine brake is definitely stronger in this thing than what it is in the Cat. Third gear. Fourth gear. Definitely what I like about this truck, cruise control. So I can't remember if I recorded this hill or not. I don't really think I did, but anyway, we'll see how the truck does. We're in sixth gear right now. We're doing like 103. This hill here. here is the toughest one. This is the one that the truck struggled with the most. This is the one I messed up the shift in the Sterling. We're slowing down pretty fast here. Down to 5th. Traffic jam here. Well, there is that load dropped. So the International did its duty. And now we're heading back for load number 3 and figure out which truck I want to take for the next one. That's going to be it for the footage. So now the question is, which truck on this day today am I preferring to drive? All right, so one load for each truck. And obviously you can tell by the sound of which truck I decided that I want to use for today, and it is the Sterling. I'm gonna jump back in this thing, head down, get a 3rd load. I'm hoping today to do at least 4 loads before Ashley tells me that I need to shut down. So, until then, let's get back in this thing. So on my last load down here with the Sterling, I didn't have to come out of 8th once. We're gonna see if I can do these 2 hills in 8th this time. As you can see, we're hauling the same weight basically. I was pretty surprised. Weekend here. Right about now would be at the time to shift for sure. Eighth gear, it's pulling it. Go, speeding up. last one here. This is the one where I pull off. Alright, well, 4 loads is gonna be it. I just got summoned that I needed to come home, but I do have a load on the Sterling ready to go for tomorrow or Monday, depending on when I'm allowed to head back out. I'm hoping that it's tomorrow. I'd like to get a few more loads in tomorrow, and then Monday potentially have 2 trucks going and get it all done at that site down there. But man, I tell you, I'm really impressed with how the Sterling performed on those last couple loads. I did just change the fuel filters in this thing, and I don't know, I'm kind of thinking that it made a big difference. Obviously the International is nice, the automatic has its perks, there's no doubt about that. Cruise control works, that's nice too, but I tell you, I think I would take the Sterling with the 8-speed a lot of days over the automatic. I just think I would. They're both good trucks. Again, I don't know exactly how much horsepower is on this truck. There's people out there that know a lot more about these trucks and this engine, the C11 engine. This is a 2005. I'm sure you guys can fill me in on the exact numbers, because I'm sure someone in the comment section will know. So maybe it's closer than what I think, but I'm thinking like 350 compared to 410, and a lot of miles on this guy. And this one is still fairly fresh, like 259,000 kilometers on this one right here. This is approaching 1 million. So yeah, there's a big difference there. Hey folks, I guess I gotta head home. I did just hear a clap of thunder, so we're probably gonna get a thunderstorm. I gotta put the windows up in this International. It doesn't have power windows. The Sterling does. Imagine that. This truck was less than half the price of this truck, but I have done some work to this guy right here, that's for sure. But anyway folks, that's gonna do it. I hope you enjoyed the video, but until next time, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you then. Bye.